Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Welcome to our weekly lectures here at the Toronto Spirit Society. My name is José Mussi. I'm happy to be here introducing our speaker and making this live stream for those who are watching us. Today is Sunday, May 25th. So welcome. It's a beautiful day here in Toronto. I hope it's a nice day where you are as well. So today's lecture is going to be Katarina, and she's going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which is who are the missionaries? So before we start, let's have an initial reading and prayer. Thank you, Jack.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good morning.
So our initial readings from the book Happy Life by the Spirit, Joana de Angelis, and psychography of Givaldo Pereira Franco. Do not shout. No situation requires shouting, which confuses and disturbs. If you speak in the right tone, the noisy will stop talking in order to listen to you. If you try to compete with them in volume, you will go hoarse and nobody will listen to you. Voice characterizes people's behavior and emotions. We are not referring to techniques of prosody here, which have their purpose, but rather to the natural tonality, audible but without aggressiveness. Have you ever listened to yourself on a recorder, especially when you were upset? Try it. And with this message, I invite everyone to close your eyes and elevate our thoughts to our Master Jesus and to connect with the spirituality surrounding us. Thank you, Master Jesus, for this opportunity, for being here today with the purpose of reflecting and learning on your teachings. May you bless our space, or this new physical space that we are in, and bless our friend Katarina who will deliver the lecture today. May she be inspired by the good spirits, and may we be attentive to the teachings of today. Thank you so much, and so be it.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Kata.
It's the message today was especially for me. I came earlier today and I was like, maybe I'm gonna get a pass since Sandra and Raquelzinha are here. I left home exactly yelling today with husband, and I was like, thank you. Lesson received. We'll see if I can put in practice. Today, May 25th, not 24th, we're going to talk about the missionaries. We have the month missionaries going, and we have been hearing specific missionaries, but today we're going to do a general recap. So some might have seen this slide before. Patrick, you're going to help me? Or... Okay. Go ahead. We had a technical, yeah. So a little review here, and last time I put that slide, it was a very tough lecture. But today I promise it's going to be much easier. It's a soft subject-ish, but I always like to bring that part of Spiritism, because to me it's the fundamental of everything. If we don't know where we come from, if we don't know who we are, then there's no point in learning anything moving forward. So as we know, we come from two very important sources. We come from the material source, and we come from the spiritual source. Our mind, our intelligence, our spirit comes from the intelligent source. So everything you have been learning through our existence, it comes from this intelligent principle. That's the one that registers who we are. That's the one who keeps our memories, our learning, our intelligence. And we have the material principle, which God has been using to create the universe since the beginning of it. Transforming this material principle and creating plants, animals, and everything. Patrick, next. All spirits are created simple and ignorant. One, I quote this from the Spiritist magazine. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Through this phase of existence of beings that begin by the molecule of the mineral, continues in the plant, develops in the animal, and it is determined by man. The spirit collects and preserves knowledge through its perispirit, and thus acquires a certain experience. The accomplished progress is very slow. So we're all created at the very bottom of simplicity and ignorance, in a way that we didn't know anything, zero intelligence, zero moral. And everybody was created like that. The process is very slow. From the one cell, the first existence, until us today, according to the theory of evolution, it took 3.5 to 4 billion years. So that's how long it took us from the one cell to evolve until where we are today. So it's a lot of time. In the book, again, Evolution into Worlds really explains that the transition, the evolution of the perispirit to form who we are today. And the goal for us is to find our way to perfection. No matter where we find ourselves today, no matter, sometimes we have so many existential questions. No matter what the questions are, one thing we should know is it's not what I'm going to have for dinner tomorrow. It's what I'm going to do when I grow up. What am I doing? It's one goal is finding perfection for us as an individual. And the good news is there is always a GPS. So God has put a GPS on each one of us. And the end of the GPS, point B over there, is perfection for everyone who came from the little tiny cell to an angel. We're all going to get there. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Some might take longer with the natural evolution itself or because of the choices that we make. So it might take even longer than 4 billion to get here and longer to evolve to perfection. But it's one certainty. It's the one goal we have in life. We may take longer getting there. It's up to us. We can do the best we can to get there as fast as we can. But what is perfection? And we've talked about that today. Emmanuel talks about it. Through Chico Xavier, he says that the two wings that leads us to perfection are love and wisdom. So if we think about our goal and what we have to do, we are not going to learn everything in one life. Many, many, many reincarnations are going to be necessary for us to develop both wings. But we should focus a little bit every day so we don't take so long to get there. Love, we have to develop our moral side, and we also have to develop our intelligence. We need to learn science. We need to learn technology, anything that's related to the evolution of our minds in an intellectual way. What's the path to get to this perfection? The question 132 from the Spiritist book, it asks, what's the purpose of reincarnation, of incarnation of the spirit? And God imposes incarnation for the purpose of leading spirits to perfection. For some, it might be an expiation due to things we've done before. For others, it may be a mission if you're ready for it. It's time to help out. You come with a mission. As we know, incarnation is a great opportunity for us to put in practice love and wisdom every single day. With the family, co-workers, on the subway, driving, neighbors. the lessons are constant. They're like 24/7. Even our dreams put us to think about what's going on with our lives. And every day we have the choice. So the GPS is pointing one way, but we're like, oh, I don't want to go here. So you turn right or you turn left. So those choices make the GPS take, takes longer or not to give us the final destination. But reincarnation is this. We come here, we do everything we can, we run out of time, we go, then we come back, and then we start all over again. So reincarnation brings us to the day-to-day practice of love and wisdom all the time. Every day we have choices as we wake up, lunchtime, before bed. It's like a diet. There's always choices. There are always choices that you can take, and those choices are going to either take you closer or further away. You can choose to stop, park your car. That's an option. But the GPS is pointing, and it's up to us the choices we take. And doing nothing is also a choice, right? I like to think about life as a big school. I say, and I like these pictures because they're kids, right? And this is exactly where we find ourselves right now. No matter who is in here in this room, most of the planet Earth right now is in this elementary, I don't know, grade 8, let's say. We're all here. Some may be grade 4, I don't know. But this is us. Now imagine if we were in a classroom like that, no teachers. It could be very chaotic, huh? Can you imagine if you remember when the teacher would leave to go to the washroom or something? In Brazil, at least, I remember being alone in the classroom. Maybe not so little, but not as young, so super young. But I remember times when the teacher had to get something in the office and come back. It was a total chaos, right? We turn into little animals and we go crazy and we want to have fun and we yell and we go on the table and have fun. And total, no structure, no nothing, not thinking about anything. And this is us. My point is, we are in this classroom right now. And we do have the teacher. And that's what we're going to talk today. There is hope. We're not a classroom without teachers. We have people that have been trained and came to the planet to help us children. And I mean us in a metaphorical way, because we ourselves right now are in a classroom for young kids. So the planet Earth is visited by numerous spirits who reincarnated, take on responsibilities of being examples and accelerating progress through inventions, discoveries, and inspirations. And those are what we called the missionaries. They're like a light bulb in the dark. You don't know what to do. They give you the light. They give you the instructions. They teach you. Some kids don't pay attention in classroom. To me, it's the best metaphor. It's a classroom. So, but the missionaries are here, and that's what we're gonna talk today. They, in the same of a classroom in a number of people, the missionaries have collective missions. We all have our own missions, but missionaries, they touch bigger numbers. That's what the missionaries, the big classrooms, they come from. According to Spiritism, and that's the type of missionaries we're going to be, focusing today. Missionaries are spirits who take on a specific incarnation, incarnations or missions on Earth, with the goal of contributing to the moral and spiritual progress of humanity. So not only we have the teacher that comes and teaches math, science, history, we have some Catholic schools. Then we have the religious teachers, and that's some missionaries are here to teach us, to give us the moral development. Because remember, we have two wings. And schools today, unfortunately, in the real day-to-day, they put aside the moral. So, but as we saw, the little planet has its helpers, and we have the missionaries that come here to help us develop our morals. And we need to be aware of them. We need to pay attention. We need to develop a sense of, what do I want? Do I want to look for those missionaries? Because some are very popular and famous. I mean, well known, but some are not. But you can pay attention to that kind of lessons that the planet gives us, and you know, use as a guide. So our school is not abandoned. And who are they? Who gets the job, right, to become a missionary? Who do you think would be? Keep in mind that whoever gets this job has to be ready, right? Has to be ready to leave lessons, to give instructions, to show a path to all the children that are lost. Teachers don't become teachers without going through university, practicing. You know, the best teachers, the best professionals, it's hard to get them. Why? Because they have experience. And what is an experience for a missionary? There is some, I promise. Patrick, who are the missionaries? Oh, sorry. Okay. So these spirits are generally more evolved. They possess a greater wealth of experiences from past lives and voluntarily accept challenges or complex tasks to aid in collective progress. So, to be a missionary, you may have come to Earth and other planets a lot. Many, 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 many incarnations. If you see ourselves now and you think how many lives we've had to be here and how many we're going to have to be ready to be a spiritual missionary, it takes time. It takes practice. It takes a lot of literally life experience. Many, many, many incarnations. So that's one of it. They also, there's no paycheck here. They get to the point where they know that's the right thing to do. And they do it because they're in a level of evolution that they might not even need to come here to the planet Earth anymore, because we're second in line out of 5 of evolution. So they shouldn't be here. They don't need. They could be doing better things in easier planets. But they say, you know what? I want to help. I'm going to go to the planet Earth. So they do that voluntarily. They don't have any debts. They don't have any karma to be here. So they put themselves to the task to come here. And everything that they have lived made them more evolved and ready to actually get the job. And it's, you can imagine what happens behind the scenes when they're planning on coming here. We all have a plan when we come. Imagine the planning of a missionary reincarnation. It's a lot involved, where the person is going to go, who is going to help. So there's a big logistic, a big planning for them to come and do the best that they can with what they have here on the planet. So, yeah. Some characteristics of these missionaries or these missions. They correspond to one's ability to the missions correspond to one's abilities and the elevation of the spirits. They're not going to give her a bigger job if the missionary is not ready. And they're not just going to wait for the top-notch missionary to come. So there are missions and missionaries, and they take their job according like what they can do. which makes sense. It's like when you apply for a job, right? You have to be qualified, and there are different levels of opportunities you have in a company. They will be ordinary people. That's so interesting. No eccentric signs. On the contrary of the business life that we live in, the missionaries, the leaders, they are simple. There's no, if you see someone elevating themselves, whoa, that's not the kind of missionary Jesus would send. So we have to be very careful who we're going to look up to. You might think, oh, this person is amazing. It's a missionary. Let's pay attention how simple, how humble, how out of this stage that person is, how much of attention the person is trying to grab from you. A missionary is simple, down to earth, doesn't appreciate material things. So that to me is one of the most important lines here. The true missionaries of God are for the most part unaware of themselves. As we know, when we incarnate, we forget. We plan everything. They plan everything. They know where they're going to go. They come as we come with our tasks to fulfill here. They come with a sense of like, yeah, that's what I should do, you know. But they forget most of the time. They're not constantly living here aware of the job and the important task that they have to put in practice here. So that's interesting too. And that's why, can you imagine if someone comes here and they know Jesus sent him? Oh my God, if I knew that Jesus had sent me, I'd be so bossy. My husband would hate me even more. Can you imagine a leader of a church or of a big congregation knowing that Jesus talked to him or her herself? So they come unaware of the plan, of the responsibility, of the, you know, they come unaware of how good they are, let's put that way. They fulfill the mission supported by the hidden power that inspires them and guides them. So it's that sense of knowing, feeling what's right and what's not. So they trust on that. It seems very difficult, right, with the responsibility that could come, but they have no idea why they're here. They forget, but they also have guides, right? There will be spirits, like we all have our mentors. Of TSS has a class of spirits here that helps us. So they come with that help, and it's all they can get. Let's talk about real influencers. Today, it's all about influencers and the famous TikTok, Instagram celebrities, and so many followers and likes. Well, that's the real influencer. It's nothing to do what we see it today. It's on the contrary. The missionary spirits are recognized by their works, and they don't publish every day on the internet, on the social media about it, by the progress they bring about. Sometimes we see people, how much they do, and they don't talk about it. We see it. They do it, and people, us, we just observe and hopefully get inspired by it. Their labor is in the service of good. By their power to exert moral influence and elevate others spiritually. So they have this power within them, and just can help. I remember some of the guests that Sandra bring here, some spiritists from Brazil. I remember a couple of them. It's just nice being near them. They have this power of, bringing coolness and peace to us. So we can feel the person. And then if you're a missionary, I can only imagine if Jesus sends someone here, how good that person will feel to us, right? So they exert, the way they talk, the lessons they have learned. It's you can't help it. You feel it, right? So it's a natural thing, and they inspire, right? It's a word. It's something. You pass by someone that is a missionary, you somehow grab from it, right? If you're ready. Hopefully, we have to be open to that too, right? But it's very possible. So, in summary, the missions of noble and altruistic spirits always aim to promote goodness, to elevate our moral standards, and to foster fraternity, empathy, and forgiveness. It's funny because it's everything we read in the gospel. They come to do literally to gospel the planet. We do our little gospel at home, we do our speeches here, the studies, and they do that for the planet. They inspire, collectively many people. So that's simple, right? Their task. And what they're not, what a missionary is not. Being a missionary in Spiritism is not about attempting to convert someone, but living ethically and aiding others. We see many times people preaching and trying to force you the idea. Sometimes I start talking about Spiritism and the person, I'm like, I stop talking. Oh, why? I give the chance to share my beliefs. Maybe I'll grab an attention. But if I don't, I'm not going to. And I've had people trying to. I appreciate, I admire people with faith, but it's not about imposing. It's not about forcing, pushing. I once I had a teacher, I took this holistic course, and this teacher, she came from a very business industry, and she found God, she found the spirituality, and she was so full of it that it was almost frustrating her trying to make us see it and believe it. She had a good intention, but that's not the path. We can never open the minds and put something in there. So even if it comes from a good point, no, there's no trying to, you should come to this church or this place, or spiritist centers are the best, don't go anywhere. No. So that's not what they're here for. So you might think it's an easy job, right? Oh, a missionary, someone so evolved is going to come from level 5 planet and come to Earth. It's going to be so easy. Well, it's not an easy job. If I put a couple of pictures of missionaries that are very famous and respected. Imagine Moses, Socrates, Jesus, Kardec, Gandhi, Chico Xavier, Mother Teresa. Their lives was not an easy 5-star hotel living, first of all. Moses brought us the beginning of, the feeling of the divine law. Can you imagine him bringing the law and to whoever was around in that time? So he came with a tough job to do. Socrates started to bring philosophical questions about the spirituality more than one life. Imagine, he was one of the pioneers to talk about we don't have just one life. And then Jesus came with all the lessons, trying to divert from all the beliefs in gods and so many different religious point of view. Kardec was a scientist, a very logical mind who had to prove to people like himself that spirits exist. Gandhi, fighting without fight. Chico Xavier, the biggest medium we have. And even today, if you talk about someone who gets message from spirits, so many people are not going to respect him for that. But with time, we're evolving. Mother Teresa did nothing but charity. Her lesson was charity. Simple living. None of them had an easy life. Jesus was killed, assassinated in a big show. And he, to us, is the most elevated spirit that ever came. The most elevated missionary. Jesus is the top of what we know as an evolved spirit. And he suffered. So it's not easy being a missionary, no matter how evolved and morally evolved and comforted that you were, that you know everything what you have to do. Once you come here and you forget, it's not easy to do what they did, because you forget about life, about spiritual life. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And the difficult come because of the free will, because they forget. The missionaries are also bound by the free will. They can choose to follow their missions or deviate, which introduces challenges and learning opportunity. Even Jesus was tempted in the desert. There, Jesus had the chance to change the GPS to the further location. So they come with a free will. They forgot. And in the end, that's why the difficulty is presented to them. And if I could ask again, why do they come to us? In another way of answering, it's because we need to contribute to the moral evolution of the planet. So everybody who is in a level 3, 4, 5 planet want planet Earth to also transform itself and evolve itself. And the only way to do that, if all of us here evolve. So the missionaries come to make a collective help and push, so the planet takes some of that negativity, anger, hate, selfishness, pride, and all of that. So literally the planet, I like these pictures, in our hands. It's only going to go up if all of us do something together. It's like a body. If you get cells that, we have an oncology doctor here, if you get cells that start to, get into trouble, cancer can spread and take the whole body down. All the systems are going to try to fight that. It's chaotic. So the goal is to make all the cells be healthy. So the body is healthy. So we need a healthy planet. And that's why they come. They come to make this planet go to the next. We talk about transition. We talk about the planetary evolution. And that's it. The evolution is us. We have to evolve. So, again, that's one job we have to do. Develop moral and intellectual. Okay? Because the planet is us. Oh, sorry. This thing is so not intuitive. So, it's not going to be a long speech today. We have our mission. Do our homework. That quote's mine. Let's do our homework. Okay? We should waste less time possible here. There is a lot of effort that is put onto our planet to make it better. Um, there are a lot of spirits that are here trying to guide us, helping, the GPS. They're the battery for the GPS. There's always help. If you anytime you wanted to do better, there are helpers all the time, eager to connect to us. It's not just the missionaries that are here to make the planet better. We have spiritual family members on the other side. We have spiritual missionaries too, discarnated. I mean, we have missionaries on the other side helping. So there's a whole system working to help us help the planet. So anytime we want, we can put the work in practice. And I just want to leave with the our ultimate missionary. If there is a perfect spirit or the most evolved one that came, and we have so many lessons from him. As they say, when in doubt, do what Jesus would do. It's simple. Sometimes you're like, what should I do? Oh, this person. I would stop everything. Let's talk Jesus, gospel. Let's, pretend you're a TSS and you're a nice person. What would you do now? Because when you're outside, it's so hard. Here, it's easy because everybody is sending the thoughts and energy into that together. So it's easy to maybe you go talk to Sandra and Raquel inside and you know better what to do when you leave. But Jesus left us examples of what to do. If you don't want to follow any other missionary, I think this is a safe choice for everyone. So just do what Jesus would do. And again, we may not be a missionary for a gigantic group, but somehow, like even when I come here, we're all missionaries to someone. We can always set an example to someone else. What do we do? You don't have to tell anyone. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to force. But our actions, if we keep consistency on the good actions, we will at some point impact someone positively. So we are, and one day we'll be a missionary like we're talking here today. So let's think about how we can be better. Okay, that's all. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah. Stay. Thank you, Katarina. I have to say, I love the analogy of the GPS.
Yeah.
It's really good, and I'm going to be using it.
Okay, good.
Stealing it. Questions?
Comments?
I do have a. First of all, you put 7 individuals over there, right? So this brought me to a couple of thoughts. First one, you mentioned it's not easy, right? The path. Actually, someone got a very easy path. It's a Buddha. Buddha was a very rich prince. And it's the opposite. He decided to leave everything, to live in a very much more challenging environment, right? So it's like even if you get some benefit, you decide to go for a different path. Then the second thought was, okay, it's very easy for you to spot on those 7 individuals people related to religion or to charity, right? But this taught me, this comes to, what comes to my mind was there are some missionaries that are not necessarily linked to charity, and you put 2 over there, right? A Socrates that led the philosophical thought, and Gandhi that led to peace. And there are so many others that not necessarily we understand as religious, but bringing peace could be awesome.
All we need, right?
Yeah, or a new health benefit to some particular group, and I start thinking about our society growth. So it's like who was the first person who decided to build a hospital? It's like or to create some, or to invest to create some disease, right? That was killing millions, malaria, for example. I don't know. Those people probably they do have their mission here, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And the third thing that I'm just going to my thoughts, as you put. Once I was in the TSS, and a person who was stuck came a couple of times. I don't know. She came to me and said, "I'm here to understand my mission. What is my mission?" And I told her, it's very common when someone it's young and come here and understand mission as something huge, right? I gonna build something amazing, right? But we forget, as you said, to look around, to look our family, our people around, and how we can help them. And that's what I told her. Because I think our mission, our
Tiny vision, yeah.
mission, it starts with our family and friends,
Yes.
or people that live around us.
It's not that tiny.
Right, the family.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the biggest
Sometimes
one.
not.
It's very big for
Not
us.
for me.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think you summarized it all. I like when you talk and progress with your thoughts because you close up really nicely. That's about it. We have our missions, and it doesn't have to be religious. It doesn't have to be whatever. It has to follow the GPS. We have to have a mission. Doesn't matter how big, how many people. It might be you have 5 kids. If you help one, you're doing something. What can you do, right? Do your best, right? You don't have kids, you have friends. So many friends with problems we have. Let's act better, be an example, help. There's a lot to be done. We don't have to be a missionary. It's like not only the ones who hit the 649 needs to do charity and donate. Everyone can donate. Sometimes we point finger, oh, that person has so much money and does nothing. We all have within us. So let's not wait just for the missionaries to do their jobs. We have to do some of it too.
One thing is important to remember is missionaries are flawed individuals. They're not perfect. In their lives, they've made mistakes. They have offended people. They might have gone against their own mission. They might have questioned their mission. They might have questioned God or Christ himself.
And it's something I didn't mention, but some missionaries fail, right? Doesn't mean they're going to, for next presentation, I'm going to put a slide on that.
Any other questions? Okay,
All
so
right.
let's thank you, Catarina. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us online, for being here. We will now proceed.